Hey, this is SJ coming back at you with another video. I've just seen this case, and you might have seen it because it's been here on YouTube. I think could have been on Facebook too. This lady, black lady, accused this man, or said that this man fathered her child, and somehow got $7,000, over $7,000 out of him. I don't know how she managed to do that. Now, I don't know if that was through the child support system or it was just him paying her the $7,000. Well, it turns out the baby not even his. The baby not even his. He gave her over $7,000 paternity fraud case, and she got arrested. They arrested her. Yes, another content creator was talking about that on here. She got arrested, and so she should be arrested. I agree. Managed to get over $7,000 out of him. I don't know if he paid that to her. Hit me in the comment section if you have knowledge of that case. I don't know if he paid it to her directly or he paid it through the court system. Either way, come to find out the baby not even his. And he should have took the DNA before he gave her. I wouldn't have gave her a dime until I took the DNA test. Why'd he give her all that money without? I don't know. Because I didn't read any articles on it. I just seen somebody was covering that on YouTube, another content creator. But anywho, I'm like, I'm an advocate, and I did a video a long time ago. Don't ask me where it's at. I can't remember when I did it. Talking about DNA testing at birth. I agree with that. I think that a lot of people are saying, especially men, are saying that there should be DNA testing when a baby is born, regardless of whether you married or single, because you got married women. I was watching Paternity Court because I've been binge watching Paternity Court. I can watch Paternity Court all day. They've been having them double and triple episodes here on YouTube. They've been having them double and triple episodes. And I've been clicking on them, from years ago, but they got some their current episodes. I haven't been able to find the current episodes. Anywho, I've been watching binge watching the double episodes and the triple episodes, and most of the time I'd be like, that's his baby. That baby look just like him, but you can't always go by looks. But most of the time I'm right. It's a few cases where I'm like, I'm not sure. And in some cases I'm like, well, that's his baby, and I find out that it's not his baby. But it was one case the baby looked just like they did favor the man, and it come to find out the baby wasn't his. So you can't go by looks. Genetics is weird. But in most cases, I'm right. I'm like, that baby looked just like him. It was this one case with this white guy. I was just watching. If you put a beard on the baby would have been his twin. That baby, I said, that he know that's his baby. Come to find out that was his baby. So I've been binge watching, and I love the judge, Lauren, what's her name? Lauren Lake, is that her name? She be giving them lectures and stuff like that. And I watched this one today. This man had 7 kids. He had 3 kids by the one woman. I was confused on that one. And then I don't know if he had somebody's fiance, and he had 3 by the one lady. Wasn't sure about the last one. And come to find out the last one, the youngest baby was his for that lady. I don't know where the other 4 kids come from. And he kept going on and on about, I go hard for mine. I'm going to work hard and go hard for mine. But you got 7 kids, buddy. How are you affording 7 kids? I'm going to start critiquing some of them episodes. That's good content. I'm going to start critiquing some of them episodes. But I've been binge watching Paternity Court. I could watch Paternity Court all day. Anywho, I think that there should be mandatory, and I talked about this before, though, in another video. I think there should be mandatory DNA, I do agree with that. I agree with that 100% because when I had my youngest son, his father had the nerve to say, try to say he wasn't his, and then every time we would go to court, he would tell the judge that, and the judge would like finally told him, look, stop saying you're gonna do it, just do it, or it's gonna start falling upon deaf ears. I told the judge, I said, for the record, I'm not requesting the DNA. He is, because I know he's the father. For the record. I'm not the one requesting it. But I had no problems with that. I had no problems with that. It was never a doubt in my mind. He the one that was doubting it. And then I showed him a picture of my youngest son when we went to court one day back in 2008. I showed him a picture of him, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to come see him. And of course he didn't. He couldn't deny it because my son looked just like him, literally. And I'm like, come on, Cletus, come on. Let's do the DNA. I didn't have no issue. I had no problem with it. There's never a doubt. And my son, everybody that knew my youngest son's sperm donor, because he's not really a daddy, they would look at him, they would look at my son and say, yep, that's his baby. He looked just like him, Everybody that knew him would look right at my son and be like, yep, that's his baby. He looked just like him. Okay, you can't always go by looks, but it's undeniable. With my son, it was undeniable. Both of my sons looked like their fathers. My oldest son was my twin when he was little. He was my twin when he was a toddler. Then the older he got, the more he started looking like his dad. I'm like looking at them like, I feel cheated. I'm the one that raised these guys, but they come out looking just like their dad. Anywho, I love them to pieces though. But I do think that there should be DNA testing at birth, whether you married or not. I kid you not, there was this case on paternity court with this white couple, and the baby was black. It was so funny. She slept with a black man, and you could see the baby was melanated. I said, now you know that baby ain't his. That poor guy. I actually felt sorry for that guy. I see he know that baby ain't his. He said, but he said, I suspected the baby might not be mine, but I still was a father, trying to be a father to him. I said, well, bless his heart. He knew that baby wasn't he. She slept with somebody. She slept with a black man. And I tell you, that is so funny. But anywho, this video was supposed to be short. There should be mandatory paternity testing, DNA testing at birth, whether you're married or you're single. Okay, don't make no difference, because sometimes that women have affairs. Some women cheat too. It ain't just all men cheating. Some women be cheating too. And because if you watch paternity court, you'll find that out. It's this one case. I don't mean to keep going on about cases, but it's this one more case. It's this one case. This woman banged 2 guys in the same day. She had relations with 2 guys in the same day. One was because he told the judge, well, she's messing around with my friend. And she admitted it. And she said, yeah, she had relations with her husband and his friend on the same day. Now that's a shame. I forget, in that case, I can't remember whether it was the husband's or the friend's baby. I don't know. I've been watching so many of them. But this should be mandatory. There should be mandatory DNA testing. It should be mandatory. It should be mandatory, regardless of whether you're single or married. I do agree with that 100%. Because there's no way that this man should have dropped this woman no $7,000. He should have took the DNA first. Is he slow? if that man has that kind of money to give this woman, okay, a DNA test is a whole lot cheaper. Okay, you could have took some of that money and went and had got a DNA, and the courts will do it for free. I think the courts would do the first. I think they'll do it, but you got so much time to get it done. But with that money, he could have literally paid for a DNA test. He could have told her, no, I got to know whether this baby mine now. And he could have took her to have the DNA test, and he could have saved himself $7,000. He could have saved himself $7,000 if he had got the DNA test from the gate. You get that done from the jump. If I was a man, I would like to think if I was a man and I had relations with a woman, I would be like, okay, I don't know if the baby's mine or not. If she's not my steady girlfriend or my wife, I would be like, okay, I don't know whether the baby's mine. We gonna have to go in and do that DNA, so I can be sure. So I can, because I don't. That's not cool. That's not cool. I don't support that. That's not cool for a man to be dropping child support for a child that's not his. And they arrested her, and so she should have went to jail because you don't do that. And that's another thing, right quick. Ladies, don't lie about that. And that's this in the court. One of the things that she's been lecturing the ladies in the paternity court as one of the things that she's been lecturing the ladies about. Because the ladies get mad. Some of the cases that turns out the man was the father, but the ladies will get mad and say, that's not your baby. And she would tell them, stop telling these men that. Stop telling these men that the baby ain't theirs. It's going to create doubt in their mind. We know the power of words. You don't do that. And she was telling them, stop telling these men that. A couple of cases where the woman did tell the men that out of anger. And he turned out to be the father. But she was telling them, stop telling these men that because that's going to create doubt in their mind. And then they get upset when the man is questioning it. Of course he's going to question it if you tell him that he ain't the daddy. I ain't never going to lie about nothing like that. Because one thing, some of these men is taking these women out. You can't do that. It's like, do not lie about that, ladies. Don't lie about that. Okay, of all things, we're not supposed to lie anyway, but that's the last thing you want to lie about is the paternity of your child, okay? If you're not sure about about your baby's father, and I know things happen, sometimes women do sleep with a multiple or more than one man. It happens, it's life. If you just be honest and say, I'm not sure. And some of the ladies, when they came into court, they was honest. They was like, I'm not sure who the daddy is. Just be honest and say, I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's between these two guys. Me, I knew. I wouldn't mess around like that. I knew who my baby daddies were. There was never a question in my mind. But however, that other one, he questioned it. I mean, me and my oldest son's dad, we was together, and he signed the birth certificate right there at the hospital. But my youngest son's donor, he questioned it. And if he questioned it, he should have took his behind to the DNA. I didn't have no problem with doing the DNA. He the one kept running his mouth about it. So that's what I'm saying. I would never lie about that. That's why I told the judge, I said, for the record, he wants the DNA. I know he's the father. Okay? So I would never lie about something like that. And if I do, I'm going to make sure that man got some money. Nah, I'm just playing. But I would never lie about nothing like that. Never, ladies, never lie about your child's father. Because you have some poor guy paying child support to a child that's not his. I kind of feel bad for the guy, but then again, I kind of don't. Because he should have got the DNA test done from the gate. And some married ladies may get mad for me, but I think even in the marriage, it should be done. Because why? Because there is women that do cheat on their husbands. Okay, so the DNA, when that case where the white couple and that baby came out melanated, that guy should have had that DNA test done as soon as that baby don't look like me. Why is that baby black? I'm sorry, honey, but we got to go get a DNA done. He should have had that DNA test. You shouldn't have had to wait to go to the paternity court. He should have had that test done from the gate. So as soon as a man suspects that the child may not be his, then he needs to get it done. But it should be mandatory. Let me know in the comment section if you agree. There should be mandatory DNA testing for married and single people, especially single people. Especially single people. It should be mandatory before that man signs that birth certificate. It should be a DNA done before he signs on that birth certificate. That way there's no doubt that he's the father of that child. And he can't, and it's a protection for the woman, because he can't, just in case y'all go to court for child support and that, he can't deny it. He can't say that's not my baby, because the DNA test is going to show that he's the father. So especially in the case of single people, it's a protection for the woman. And the woman don't have to go through that humiliation of having a man doubt, because that's humiliating to have a man doubt the paternity of your child. That's humiliating. It was humiliating to me to have him say that in court. It is. It's humiliating. But to get it done from day one, I mean, I would have scheduled it myself if I could have, because that was never a doubt in my mind. But it is humiliating for the woman. So, yeah, it saves the woman humiliation, and it when you go to court, you don't have to worry about the man questioning it and all that kind of stuff. It's a deniable. The baby is yours. So now we can get to the child support. And a man don't have no business paying child support for a child that's not his. And so ladies need to stop lying about that. Don't never lie, because some of these men is taking these women out. So that it could be dangerous. It could be deadly. So she'd rather go to jail than to be in the grave. The man could have taken her out. So you don't play around with that. You don't lie about stuff like that. I don't know what's wrong with some of these ladies, but you can't do that. You can't lie. Or some ladies might have was with two guys and they really want this guy to be the dad. But so they tell him this is your baby, and then come to find out that's not his baby. Come on now. You can't do that. It doesn't matter if you want him to be the father. You gotta get the test done. You gotta be honest and say, look, just be honest and say, look, I don't know. You know what I mean? Tell the truth. Ladies never lie about that. But hit me up in the comment section and let me know if you've seen that where that woman got arrested. That man dropped that $7,000. That lady committed paternity fraud, and they took her to jail too. And so she should have went to jail. I agree. Okay, because that man shouldn't have to. But that was kind of stupid on his part, because he should have went and got a DNA from day one. But hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are. And hit that. Make sure you please hit that like button so that algorithm will go up on this video. I really need my algorithm to go up, so I can get my views. And share this video. And until the next videos, you guys be safe and be blessed.